Resultantly, our mortality was far below the national average, and the total number of deaths which we faced in this pandemic was 212. In the entire division, that is 18 million people. So this is an achievement of the public administration and all the public healthcare providers. This is I must say, this was a joint effort, and this was based on mutual understanding, listening to the professionals for what they are saying, and listening to the public servants why they are panicking. So both sides, they were feeding each other and making us all make right decisions before the curve took us over. So, ladies and gentlemen, 212 deaths in the entire division and 50 plus deaths at the teaching hospital in Gujranwala district. This is not a small story. And considering the fact that Gujranwala division was at the forefront, was the first of population centers to actually discover and detect positive cases. We were the first on the hotspot. We were the first worries of the government of Punjab. Gujarat, then Gujranwala, pockets here, pockets there. So what was happening was that everyone was worried about Gujranwala, but thankfully we were mindful of the strategic actions which were required at every step. So now I come to that list of 4 or 5 things which really worked in the last outbreak of pandemic. The learning we develop from there shall be helpful to us to the next phase, which is being tipped, as Dr. Saab said, maybe after 2-3 months, which may come. Allah khair rakhe. Inshallah nahi aayegi. But these learning lessons. So lesson number 1, the entire public sector around mid of March in Gujranwala division was on its toes. So with the hyperactive system, Deputy Commissioner, Armed Forces, intelligence agencies, this department, agriculture department, primary healthcare department, secondary healthcare department, tertiary healthcare department, everyone, the activity level was so visible to the public that public finally understood, people finally understood there is something which we must acknowledge, the threat is there, so we must start adopting the important, very important carefulness, for example, the social distancing, the masks. So, and also public started trusting us. So number 1, the hyperactive phase in which we were able to get the trust of the people. Number 2 was the more difficult phase, that was getting the trust of the medical health providers. That is the doctors, the young doctors, the paramedics. Since infection was to come, pandemic was to come, patient loss was to come, but where was it going to come? To the hospitals. Who were the frontline people, the doctors and the paramedics? Were they sufficiently provided with the PPEs, with the dresses? Yes, no. Were they confident about the way their concerns were being registered by all the government? This is very important. We were able to listen to them carefully. We were able to listen to the professionals, and we were able to put forth the paraphernalia, the infrastructure that created trust of the doctors. So when we were celebrated at the national level, my input was, what is our greatest moment of pride through this entire epidemic? And I said, we are proud that not a single paramedic or a doctor was lost to this disease in Gujranwala division. Not a single. not a single doctor, not a single paramedic, while on duty, I'm not saying while on duty, catching disease on duty was not lost in the entire division. So this was the moment of pride which we communicated to the all those who were watching and witnessing our effort. So this is the moment of pride, and this is the moment of pride which we want to build upon when, in case this epidemic hits us back, that we in the government who are assumed to overtake all the responsibilities, we shall be careful, we shall be mindful, we shall be taking care of your concerns, doctors' concerns, paramedics' concerns. You remain our precious most asset, and we shall not sacrifice your needs on our urgent waves of urgencies, waves of immediateness. So this is the lesson we got, and this is the promise we have for you, for inshallah if there is a next phase. So to get to this trust, what worked? Quickly and timely setting up the quarantines, quickly and timely setting up this, devising this very brilliant experiment that is the small lockdown, smart lockdown, which evolved as, and then it was done in Kamuki. Dr. Sa was there and his team was there. It was developed here and then quickly adopted by Gujarat, quickly adopted by Sialkot, and quickly adopted by the entire division. Wherever there was a hot spot, there was a smart, small lockdown, and then quickly replicated in the entire Punjab. So the pride we have, and that was addressing your concerns, that unnecessary positive case should not be brought to the hospitals, should not be emerging from the streets, should not be coming from the bazaars. So what these smart lockdowns and then all the civil administrations did was very effective other lockdowns. The bazaars, the markets, maybe there is some lapse around Eid al-Fitr, but across this season, there was a very competently enforced lockdown framework, which did not let you overwhelm. And finally, which I also discussed with doctors and your faculty, was the field hospitals. Field hospital was a separation of unnecessary load, that non-symptomatic load, which did not require close attention by specialists, out of the hospital. And in the hospital, only those people remained who were in need of urgent, important care. The doctors were separated from unnecessary exposure. This was again a very strategic step which we took. We were first to build our first 200-bed hospital, field hospital, very elegantly developed and very economically developed in Gujarat, then in Gujranwala, then in Sialkot, then in Mandi Bahauddin. So over a period of in April, we were all set and ready to face the wave which came in May and June. So those 2 months, our main facilities, our main wards in the hospitals, they were not facing the overwhelming rush of non-symptomatic positive cases which may have infected our doctors unnecessarily. Necessary exposure is part of your job. You understand and we know. Necessary exposure you cannot avoid, but unnecessary, why burden your wards? That was what you were telling us. That was what your paramedics were telling us. That was your young doctors telling us. That was what your senior doctors were telling us, that don't expose us to unnecessary exposure. And we take pride in the administration in this division that we didn't. We listened to you. There were issues with us on our side, there were issues on your side, but we listened to you carefully and we ensured together that we did not expose our most precious asset to unnecessary exposure of COVID-19 disease. I think this is a tall claim, but it's up to you to judge it whether it is right or wrong. I have been told that yes, doctors and paramedics acknowledge across this division that they were not exposed unnecessarily to the burden of to the viral load in their wards. So thank you very much for letting me say these a couple of things. Then again, another important discovery, that was how to avoid mortalities. Our learning lesson was that it is those three days, critical days of a patient. If the difference maker is the presence of a specialist, presence of a senior doctor, who can mindfully look into the case and can deploy multiple options. Option 1 works or not, option 2 works or not, and timely application of those options. So in our case, since our health facilities were not overwhelmed, and since our doctors and specialists knew that while going to the ward, they will not be exposed unnecessarily, they were able to give that focus, that attention and care for those 3 days, applying multiple options, that in June, our expectation was that death rate may normally hit 40 per day in Gujranwala district. This was our internal calculations, projections. But thankfully, it never crossed an average of 6, 7, and maximum in 1 day is in the entire division 9. In the district, I think never crossed 4. So thankfully, those 15 days, which we were expecting like daily mortalities of 40, 50, we remained around 4, 5, and thankfully the entire season passed. It could steal from us only 212 souls. So these are our learning lessons, and thank you, Dr. Saab, for letting me speak to the medical community this day on this very important experience we had, which is going to bear very, very significantly on the next phase if it begins, if it comes. Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much. Now for the vote of thanks, I will request Dr. Sohail Anjum Bhatt, Medical Superintendent, DHQ Gujranwala.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulil kareem, amma ba'd. I'm very
Principal. MS Dr. Sohail Murad and all the dignitaries and faculty. I really feel honored to be standing here in front of more intellectuals and hardworking people in front of me, and it's make me more humble that I'm standing just for a cause, and the cause is humanity. Humanity. You see, there are few interesting things associated with the COVID-19 pandemic, and the most interesting for me initially was nobody knows anything about it, and the pathology, pathogenesis, disease patterns, nobody knew how it's going to go forward all over the world. So I was as novice as anyone else of any field. So we were very lucky, to be honest, as Principal said in his speech, that it is the teamwork. Right from the beginning, even before the pandemic hit Pakistan, we already had a corona management team led by the Principal, Professor Maroof Aziz Khan. And the interesting thing was that right from the beginning, we started capacity building. and we're a very good team, properly commanded and controlled by the leader. And that was the real motivation behind the inception of this book, to be honest. You see, when things started, I, being a surgeon, though a member of the team, became a little bit loud in my comments regarding the scientific knowledge which was emerging in world over. Though when the things started turning serious, means the patients started going up, so was the mortality. That increased the panic as well as stress towards all of us. And at the peak of this stress, towards the end of April, principal asked me to take the management part of serious or critical patients of level 3. And that was not just surprise. I just looked with disbelief to the principal. I'm a surgeon. That was from inner thought. Then I thought surgeons are different because they take the challenges. So I took the challenge and started making a team. And I'm really thankful for all of my team, Professor Irfan, all the consultants of all specialties. We just get together and made treatment protocols, strategies, how to plan, SOPs, and that's just in a matter of few days just changed the game. So my initial thought was just to find the vulnerable population. That I believe is a risk stratification. I think Mr. Commissioner might have remembered that I just posed a question that why can't we stratify the risk and apply that risk stratification. That finally came from government side in the form of smart lockdowns. So we evolved actually, and while we evolved, I just started making my observations regarding the vulnerable population, the diseases which are more vulnerable, and the age group, obesity, hypertension, diabetes, and so many things. And then we thought that these are the problems which we need to address first. And then the second most important thing for me was to improve the immune response of the patient. So I will not go into details of the intricacies of the book or the scientific knowledge, but it is based on two basic things. As you all know, there has not been a single effective antiviral treatment available yet in the world against COVID-19 or coronavirus. So my subject is focus the basics, improve the immune system, and address the comorbidities. And it was a surprise that while we were discussing all these things, that we came up with so many good strategies, and that was reflected by